was a comment that was made on Facebook the other day about being a submissive woman. They were saying that a submissive woman controls her man, and I agree with that. I think until we begin to talk in honesty and transparency and stop pandering to both sides, especially to the sisters, because there is so much entitlement, and because men have been quiet for so long, and it's been the men that has been quiet were the type of men that y'all really need to be listening to. The men that doing the most talking ain't the ones, they don't have nothing to say anyway.
What's good? It's your boy Quay Price, man, holding it down for Kandid Konvos. Definitely check us out every Wednesday night, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. People today, they lazy. Ain't nobody trying to put in no work. If stuff start getting a little rough in the relationship or in the marriage, ain't nobody trying to fix nothing. Like, I mean, that's how people's mindsets are today. Yeah, but that's how I know that folks don't truly understand what marriage was about, because they tap out way too easy. Yeah, you see people fight harder for a job, like they can't go get another one of them in 2 weeks. Yeah, she's talking about these guys coming to these foreign countries and sourcing out these foreign women because they possess these character traits. Yep, they're more cooperative when it comes to a man, or they're more cooperative when it comes to a marriage and a relationship. They're more, nurturing forward when it comes to a relationship. They're more I don't even want to use the word soft, but I'll use the word soft. They're softer when it comes to, these relationships and interactions with men and so forth. And like I said, we definitely got to be honest. We see a difference, right? We see a difference. And I think, Chloe and Tay made some good points earlier. A lot of this stuff is based around money over here in the West. What's good, everybody? Welcome back to Kandid Konvos. I'm your host, Quay Price. We got Coco on deck. Say what's up to the people, Coco.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the show. Or welcome if it's your first time.
Man, welcome back. Yeah, shout out to the newcomers to the show. We appreciate y'all supporting the platform. If you haven't already, smash that like button. Likes are free. Smash that like button. Also, man, hit that share, man. So we want to get this content out to as many of our people as possible so that we can move us in a better direction. Also, for my YouTube folks out there, turn on them notifications so you know when we drop content, man. We always dropping some content, man. So definitely turn on the notifications so you know when we do what we do. All right. Let me drop this real quick. Here's a link to join the panel. You can drop this in your Google Chrome, your Microsoft Edge. You come with your Apple device. Come on through your whack Apple device. join us up on the panel. Don't be scared. Let's get in on this conversation. Yeah, I'll be taking shots. I'll be taking shots at the Apple folks out there. Well, yeah, join us in this conversation, man. Bring your perspective, man. Like I said, we welcome everyone to the conversation because that makes for a productive conversation, man. So don't be scared, man. In addition to the video feed here, we also have this link in the chat feeds as well. So you can catch it at the Kandid Konvos page on YouTube or Facebook, where we're currently live right now. All right, I'll lead us up here a little bit as we get into the conversation. So let me get right to it, man. I ain't even about to play with it tonight, man. All right. So yeah, topic for tonight, man. We're gonna get right to it tonight. Topic for tonight. Let me get that out the way so I can see it. Black people sabotage relationships. Man, oh man. Topic for tonight: Black people sabotage relationships. I'm gonna mute you for a sec, Coco. Just come off when you're ready. All right, cool. All right. So yeah, we're gonna get right to it tonight. Like I said, we ain't gonna hold it up. Like I said, once again, we appreciate everybody hopping on. Like I said, let us know if you need the link. But like I said, if not, the links are in the chat feeds. So you can catch it once again at the Kandid Konvos page on YouTube or Facebook. Unless you can join us on the panel that way. But yeah, we're gonna get right to it tonight, man. We got a couple down here. Yeah, this first one, man. I gotta take this one piece by piece. Yeah, somebody sent this video over my way, man. And I think it's an interesting video, but yeah, I gotta take it piece by piece. So it might be some stopping and starting going on. But yeah, we gotta dissect a couple things. I see we got some ladies on the panel with us tonight. So yeah, I need to understand some things. Let me check in with the chat real quick. Let's see. We got Donovan in the building. He says straight facts. Yeah, man. You know what it is. We're gonna touch a little bit of it tonight. So no, once for sure. Shout out to, is that Kenyatta? Oh, I can't get the comment up, but shout out to Kenyatta. She's checking in with us. Well, appreciate you supporting us tonight. Kenyatta always holding us down. I don't know why they ain't doing what it's supposed to do. I don't know. All right, shout out to my guy Civil as well. He said, shout out to the panel. What's going on, Civil? Appreciate you hopping on with us as well, man, holding us down. All right, so we're going to get right to it tonight. Yeah, like I said, it's going to be some starting and stopping, but we're going to get right to it tonight. So yeah, tonight we talking Black people sabotage relationships. All right.
I let my neighbor take me on a date, and I'm gonna tell you guys how it went. So first, we've seen each other multiple times in multiple different community events, and he...
Pause that real quick. Ladies, question for the ladies. Would you let your neighbor take you on a date? Ladies, drop a comment, come off mute, whatever it is. But ladies, I'm just curious. Would you let your neighbor take you on a date? I'm just curious. Y'all drop a comment, let me know where y'all stand on that. I see Kenyatta sitting down there. Let me know what it is, Kenyatta. Would you let your neighbor take you on a date? That's my first question right there. All right, we gonna keep going.
He never really showed interest. My homegirl even thought he was gay. And he never really showed interest. My homegirl even thought he was gay. But since we live right next to each other, it's like proximity type of thing.
Y'all gonna make me do this all night. So I know y'all got to answer the other question, but I got another question now. Because I said tonight we talking sabotaging relationships, right? So I know that can take place in a relationship or even before it gets off the ground well. So another question, why is it looked at as a man possibly being suspect because he hasn't, I guess, shown you attention in the past? Like, why is the next thing that he might be suspect? I'm just trying to understand the mentality, right? Because I said we're talking about sabotaging. Yeah, so why would he be looked at as suspect? Because essentially he ain't tried to holler at you before. So I said, y'all feel free. I'm trying to understand some stuff tonight. So let's see. I see Kenyatta responded on the question, would she let her neighbor take her out? She said nope. Okay, straight like that. I ain't mad at that. Appreciate that response. And then I said, why
not? He don't.
Wait, hold on.
Don't know.
Who was that? Cole? What she say?
Yeah.
Go ahead. What you say?
I said, why not? The person don't know you. I don't understand. That's why not? Why neighbor can't take you out?
So you saying he can? So you saying you let your neighbor take you out on a date? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. If we're ultimately trying to get to the same thing, yeah, yeah. And the girl in the video, I'm just letting you know, is stupid. I'm not about to play with that. Her whole mind messed up. She needs to stop talking. We're not about to.
We got a long way.
Y'all ain't
Dang, girl, shut up.
Y'all ain't even let the girl. Okay, y'all ain't even let the girl talk yet.
Nope.
Okay, I'm gonna
she
keep going.
Goofy, a straight goof.
I'm gonna let her get into it. I'm gonna try not to stop her no more. I'm gonna go and let her rock. All right.
So we were like, we always talk to each other and stuff like that, and we were getting to know each other, as a community. I was like, I like making friends in my community. So there's this one event, and everybody's at the pool. So I go put my bikini on. Mind you, I talked to him before I put my bikini on. But I go home and I put my bikini on. And then that's when he was just like, basically saying that he wanted to take me out, show me this spot. And I was like, oh, like a date? And he was just like, yeah, I guess so. And I was like, okay, that's weird because I didn't think you were interested in me. And so he's like, oh, what made you think that? And I'm just like, because like we've seen each other many times and you've never really showed interest. So as the day's coming towards the planned date, he actually texted me and was just like, oh, I know that you have like dietary restrictions. And I was like, yeah. So he basically called around to find a place where we could both eat. So he found a spot and I was like, wow, he actually like took time to like, that's a green flag. The first red flag was him not asking me out until he seen me in a bikini. But, green flag. He called around to, see where we can both enjoy, like a place where we can both enjoy. And then when he found the spot, I was like, do you want to meet me there? Or since, we live right next to each other, you want to just ride together? He was like, oh, you can ride with me and save gas. Okay, another green flag. So I tell him to meet me by the staircase. I'm thinking he's gonna like drive his car and pick me up like how my homegirl does that lives in the same neighborhood. She usually drives her car to the staircase and I hop in the car. So I thought that's what he was gonna do. The time comes where he's gonna pick me up, and so I'm waiting for him. He tells me he's gonna be 10 minutes, so I just make a couple videos while I'm waiting because I'm already outside. I thought he would have been there on point, but he said between this time he showed up between that time. He was walking, so he walked over to the staircase. So I was like, that's fine. So I ended up walking towards his car. I was like, you could have just said meet me on this side, so we could have. But yeah, anyway, so he didn't open the door. Okay, that's kind of, not many people do that. Like, that's princess treatment. But I'm a princess, so I'm thinking, okay, whatever. I open my own door and I get in. Car's super clean, smells really good. Like, he just got his car detailed. I don't know if he just got it detailed because I was getting in the car, but green flag. And then he drives all the way there. Green flag. We get there. The place is really nice. Another green flag. And they actually have a vegan option, so I'm like, wow, but it was out of stock, so whatever. But when we sat down to order, he basically said, get whatever you want. And I was just like, oh, green flag. I'm like, I'm getting the whole menu. I didn't get the whole menu, but I was like, yeah, I'm getting the whole menu. So that was a green flag. And then afterwards, like after we were done eating, he was like, are your shoes comfortable? And mind you, I'm wearing heels. So I'm just like, no, they're not comfortable. I'm glad I didn't wear my red bottoms though. I just wore these because I knew we were going towards the beaches. So he was just like, oh, okay. I was like, well, if you like, cause he said I wanted to, take you to this place and we were going to walk around. And I was like, oh, well, there's stores here on the beach that I could just get sandals. And he was like, yeah. I was like, yeah, we could just go to one of the stores and get sandals. So we go into the store to get the sandals, and I get the cheapest ones, really, because like all of them are like $40. I got the ones on sale for like $16, whatever. But he watched me pay for it, so I was just like, that was just my ick right there. Since I came from a relationship where I did everything and paid for everything, it was just like immediately when a man sees you open your purse around him, it just is a real ick, a red flag for me, and that kind of just turned me off. Like, okay, we're friends. So after that, I was just like kind of just treating him like a friend. Like, he was asking me like questions and stuff like that, and I was just like on a friend vibe, because my man, my future man, he's not gonna let me open my purse, especially for some $16 shoes, to hang out with you, to walk around and hang out with you. But other than that, like, the date went very well, and that was just my only type of like red flag, really. Like, I mean, there was he also, like, when we were walking, he made sure that I was on the inside and he was on the outside. That was a green flag. That was a very gentleman behavior. But everywhere we were going, I was getting so many compliments. He was just like, oh my gosh, like, that's so, like, this is the 5th person that's came up to you and just told you how beautiful you are. So in my head, I'm thinking like, damn, everybody in the world can see how, like, that I'm a princess, but I'm not getting the princess treatment. Like, I'm the type of woman, I want flowers, I want you I want all the romance, I want to be taken care of, I want like a manly man. I don't know, I don't know, and it just wasn't really giving that. Hey, but he's cool as hell, don't get me wrong. I would love to hang out with I wanted to hang out with me again, and so I wouldn't mind hanging out with him again, but I would definitely make sure to tell him, like, as friends, yeah, we can hang out as friends. And just like when you know what you want, it's just like, I told he's definitely the type of person that if I feel like that if I would have asked him to do something, he would do it. But it was just like, my friend was just like, you don't have to ask a man to do something, he should already do it. And I'm just like, that's what my guy friend said, and I was like, you're right, it should already be in you, not on you. So like, maybe I should have jokingly said, haha, you're not gonna open my door? Like, jokingly, my friend was like, no, you should not do that. And I was just like, damn, okay. But I was like, how is somebody gonna know like what to do and how to treat you if you don't like kind of like tell them or imply it? And he was just like, they're just supposed to know. And I was just like, okay. But I don't know, how do you guys feel about this whole situation? I just feel like
all right, so I'm gonna stop it right there. Shout out to everybody in the comments, man. Let me get a couple of these comments real quick. See, Donovan said distracted driving. Man, she was holding it together, man. She trying to make a little video, man. I ain't gonna tell if you won't tell, man. I ain't gonna tell, man. See, shout out to my guy Vince in the building. He said, hey, fam, what's going on, Vince? Appreciate you hopping on with us tonight, holding us down. See, Donovan says staircase meetup assumptions not communicated. Yeah, it might have been some of that in there. I was hearing something else too, though. Donovan also said, let's see, he didn't open the car door, minus 2 points. Yeah, that's how she chalked it up. Well, I guess a red flag, however she want to put it. See, Donovan also says she wore uncomfortable shoes. Why?
Because she's a princess. Those are her glass slippers.
Oh, okay. All right, that answers that. See, Donovan said, let's see, he didn't buy new substitute shoes. Still only the first date. Yeah, no, they definitely on the first date. Let's see. Vince says she's silly, pretty privileged. She will waste it. Yeah, that's wrapped in there too, man. I definitely can sense a little bit of that coming from her. See, Donovan said, he was hanging out, not trying to win her over. Yeah, I say he could have been, he could have been looking at her a little casual, but I don't know though. I don't know, Donovan. Let's see. Vince said guy friend. Yeah, she slipped that in at the end. Yeah, she's talking to her guy friend. He was giving her some advice on her date. So that was interesting to hear. See, Kenyatta says she wanted the $16 shoes, or if they were $150. Let's see. She wanted the $16 shoes, or if they were $150, those shoes are going on her feet. Yeah, them shoes. That was a whole nother thing right there. All right. So I'm coming back to the panel. Because I got some questions, man. Actually, no, I don't know. Let me just go and throw my questions out there. So we got Coco, we got Silver, we got Cole down below. See if I can get Cole in the, hold on a second. I don't like that look right there. We'll go big for now. All right. So I got some questions, man. So tonight we talking black people sabotage relationships, right? So this video came over, so we get all type of videos. I think this video is interesting, right? Because the young lady, she talks about this neighbor of hers taking her on this first date. She talks about the fact that, you know, that they end up going to this pool party, and, you know, she went and got her bikini on and all of this. And, you know, she kind of graded, you know, some of these points as green flags and red flags. So yeah, I want to present some questions. I said, then I want to hear from y'all. This whole bikini point that she made about this man, you know what I'm saying, being her neighbor. Clearly, this ain't the first time he met this young lady. And she tries to make the connection that, you know, after he saw her in this bikini, that's the reason why he decided to engage her and want to take her out on a quote unquote date. Is that even valid? Yeah, I'm curious. I want to hear from a lady and well, Civil. It's only me and you up here on the panel, man. So I'm gonna let you answer that one for the fellas. But is that even valid? Yeah. Do you guys actually think that was the trigger on why he actually asked her out to go kick it? Go ahead, Coco.
Don't get me wrong. When she first said it, I caught that too. But hearing her give the whole story, though, now I have to, after hearing her give the whole story and her from her perspective, I have to wonder if she just positioned the story that way to make it seem as if it was because of her bikini that he asked her, because she's like, you know, he saw me at the pool party and then he asked me out. Because it could have been a situation where he has seen you a few times, and he just, you know, maybe you weren't approachable, or maybe he didn't think he should approach you, or maybe he was trying to feel you out, or maybe he was trying to get an impression of who you are. And then to see you in a laid back environment, and maybe he saw something that said, yeah, I can approach her. You know, y'all act like y'all don't want dudes to approach y'all. Y'all don't want guys to approach you. So maybe he don't think you would feel comfortable with him seeing you come out your apartment, or see you walking around a complex or something, and him just walking up to you and asking you out. Like, you know, we have to consider that too. It's not always that a man is a villain. And so I'm not sure, because it could have been the way she just painted it from her perspective. But at the same time, you know, I mean, maybe he did see a little something that he liked. And he decided to move on you because then he saw something he liked. I mean, I guess what my problem is, what does that mean exactly? That he's not a good guy, or that you shouldn't date him because he liked what he saw? I mean, ain't that the point? So I guess I really don't know. I can't say. It's not odd for me for a man to see something that he likes. Now, if he on the date, if all he did was capitalize on like sexual or physical, then maybe that's all he's there for. But if that's not what he gave you in conversation, if that's not how he treated you, then it's probably more to it than that.
Right. Okay. No, I appreciate that. Civil, man, you think that was you think that's what it was, man? Was it the bikini, man? What you think, man?
Oddly enough, I think I'm going to take a perspective that is kind of opposite of what I usually do. I think it probably was the thing that kind of got him over the hump, because people kind of disregard that even when you go to talk to somebody, if you're talking to a stranger, or if you're even worse, talking to somebody that you work with or live around, like, you're putting a lot at risk. She might flip out on him. She might be like, why are you even trying to talk to me? And then now he's got to engage with this person, like, going throughout his day-to-day life. And also, when it comes to the way she kind of reacted, I don't even know if it happened that way, because she kind of presented that at the beginning of the story so that everyone can start seeing this guy in a negative light. It's like having a conversation with somebody that's really bad at chess, but they think they're really good at it because they look at the world one-dimensionally when they forget that there's 3 other dimensions that they can exploit. And for her, she's like, this is how this guy's the villain. But now let me build it up like I'm not calling him the villain. And then at the end, he's the villain because I should have known from the very get-go. He only talked to me because I was in the bikini. He's a bad guy. And it's without giving the person any kind of like actual fleshing out of being a human being. It's just her being exceptionally just self-absorbed and unable to actually consider the other person's opinion. Like, she's not the main character. This isn't just her story. This is life we all share. That's my opinion. But even if he was looking at her, she was in a bikini and he liked it, what's the big deal? He didn't act like a jerk on the date. For the most part, he sounded like somebody who a lot of other young women are saying that they want. A nice guy. Just a nice guy that does not all the gentlemanly things you're supposed to do, because he probably didn't have a strong enough father figure to teach those things to him, but he at least attempted to approximate it. And that's something that a nice guy does.
Yeah, no, that's real right there. I appreciate that. Honestly, I don't think I think from what I heard, the bikini probably played into the situation to a certain extent, but I don't think that was the thing that really solidified it. If anything, the bikini probably told him that, you know what I'm saying, that she can be comfortable, you know what I'm saying, and that she probably was all right to go ahead and ask the question, right? Because I said he's been seeing this girl, so he already done got a visual of her. It don't take no bikini to know what a female got going on physically, like, so he already been looking at this female. So this ain't a new this ain't a new thing, right? So I do agree with y'all. I think that's just how she framed that. But as I dig into this thing, listen, I know we talking sabotage tonight, right? As I dig into this thing, I'm just really trying to understand, listening to this young lady's scenario. Like, do we even know how to get a relationship off the ground? Yeah, I'm listening to the young lady, right? She talks about the fact that he invites her out on this date, right? And he really didn't even put no tight restrictions around it. He almost kept it kind of open-ended, right, to keep it comfortable, right? So I can definitely tell that's what he was doing. But, you know, she's talking about the fact that, you know, he wanted to take her out to this place. She's talking about the fact that he went and found a place, you know what I'm saying, because she had dietary restrictions. Right, so this is a man clearly that is paying attention or listening, and he recognizes that this young lady, she vegan, or she don't eat whatever, pescatarian, whatever she is, right? But she got some type of allergy, whatever it may be. So he's taking the time out to find a place that will compensate for that. Yep, and it's like, how often is that happening out here? Yeah, you got a dude who's actually taking some time and being intentional with where he takes you based on restrictions that you have on a first date. Right. So for that reason alone, shout out to him. Then she talked about the fact that he drove. So he came, scooped her up, took her wherever they was going to do what they was doing. Right. She also talked about the fact that, you know, she got in the car was smelling good. She's like, maybe he got the car detailed just because he was taking me out or whatever. So I'm like, okay. So my man, he trying to put on a good presentation. Then she says she got to the place and the place was nice. So she was impressed with that. She said, green flag. Yep, so he done picked out a specific place for you. He done got the car all spruced up, basically, and to impress you. You done got to the restaurant. The restaurant is nice. You impressed. She said they got to the restaurant. He told her she could order whatever she wanted. So he wasn't even putting the limitations on you. You know, luckily, you know, in her defense, you know what I'm saying, she didn't she ain't blow the bill up, because I know how that goes. So
we don't know that.
Well, she said she said jokingly she was just gonna order everything, but she said she ain't end up doing that. So I'm going off what she said. I'm trying
No.
to I'm trying to work with the young lady.
We
right?
don't know that because see, that's the context that's missing. She didn't order everything, but that doesn't mean that she didn't blow the bill up. Maybe that's why he didn't want to buy the $16 shoes.
That's true. That's true. Okay, hold on now, Coco. Hold on now.
All right, just saying.
So all right, so far they doing good. Now I know she brought up he ain't opened some doors, some stuff, but she talking about everybody don't do that and all that and all that. So okay, cool. We're gonna blow that on a while. So then they get all the way to the beach. My man asks her about her feet. So he trying to see if her feet hurt or if her, if she's still comfortable. She tell him, she a little uncomfortable, whatever. So she gonna go to this little store and get these sandals. So she says she go in the store, she get the sandals, you know what I'm saying? She said most of the sandals was $40, but she picked the $16 pair that was on sale, the clearance, whatever. And then she said he watched her pull out her money and pay for those sandals. Y'all drop a comment because this is where this take a turn. Y'all drop a comment. Should he have paid for the sandals, or is that on her to pay for them sandals? I'm just curious.
On her, he don't know you. He don't know you. The hell? And you see, I said it back in the comments entitled, "Girl, bye, goodbye."
Yep, I agree. Well, she says she's a princess. So, I mean, that's what she expected. But the funny part about it is if you're such a princess and this is the type of treatment that you're expecting, why did you pull it? Why did you pull your wig?
Is that Cole? What'd you say, Cole?
Yeah, that was me. That was me. And then obviously, if you're a princess, then you ain't picking right. So what you doing? Like, no.
Okay.
Just saying, this is the reciprocation though that men are talking about, right? Like if he planned the date, took her on the date, paid for the dinner without complaint, told her to order whatever she wanted, he drove. So basically, at this point, she has not done anything but get dressed.
Right.
She not had to put any effort into anything but herself, just getting ready for the date. That's it. He's planned the date, paid for everything up until this point. So you're telling me that you couldn't even just buy the $16 shoes? And let's just be for real. That's why you picked the $16 shoes, because in your mind, you're thinking, I'm probably gonna end up paying for these, so I'm gonna get the cheapest ones in here because I'm looking at the Gucci heels, kitten heels on your feet. So normally on a normal situation, you like to spend a little money. So I'm gonna guess that you was thinking, I don't want to spend no money up in this store. This is just for this date, so I'm just gonna spend $16. So you already knew what was up. I mean, if you're really princess like that, then why didn't you say something? I mean, I've seen some girls be like, well, if you want to do that, then, I'm not going to pay for it. And they set that standard. Now, I'm not saying I agree or disagree with it. I'm simply saying if that's your standard, then why didn't you set it with him? Why, when it was time to pay, why didn't you look at him and go, oh, wait, you're not going to buy these? And then your friend is telling you, well, you shouldn't have to say that. Well, a closed mouth don't get fed. So if you expected him to pay for it, he may have done it. Why didn't you say that? You're a princess, right? So you wanted something from this guy. You did not clearly communicate what that was. And so because he didn't make an assumption, then you now want to say red flag because he didn't read your mind. He might have paid that $16 and not even had a problem with it. You didn't say anything. So you didn't get it, and now it's his problem because you didn't say anything. So yeah, I think this is a case of sabotage because this could have went differently. All those green flags, you green flagged this man all night. And the one time he doesn't do something you think he should do, you ready to friend zone him because he didn't buy $16 shoes? Like, what did this man invest in this date? You have no idea.
Right.
But you're ready to friend zone him for $16? That's what's crazy. So yeah, she just sabotaged. You know what I'm saying? Like, Okay, well, throw him back, girl, for somebody else.
Yeah, and that's really what I'm trying to understand, right? So we, she been documenting this whole little dating situation, right? Now I would just say this: my man he's at 90%. Yeah, he had 90%. Yeah, but let's just say, she wants to essentially hold these $16, throwaway sandals, because I'm sure she probably won't even never wear these sandals again. These $16 throwaway sandals, she now wants to hold that against him. So forget the other 90%. We're going to lock in on the 10. Yeah, so because he didn't put these $16 up, her next statement was, for the rest of the date, she just treated him like a friend. Yeah, so he done got downgraded. So he was at 90%. He was scoring high. Yep, to Coco's point, up until this point, he has made all of the investment in the date. She has made no investment in the date. He's scoring 90% until he didn't pay for, which he never said he wouldn't, but until he didn't pay for some $16 sandals, now the 90% is out the door. And now he just getting treated like a friend now. Yeah, and I'm just trying to figure out, where is that coming from? Yeah, we talk about the fact that we want these relationships. We're looking for these significant others. We're looking for these, what the ladies say, looking for these providers and these leaders and all of this. And the men is talking about they look for these submissive women and all of this. But it's like, is this all it takes to shut down the chances? Yeah, some $16 flip-flops, the little beauty supply flip-flops, the little joints that the girls be throwing around after they go get a pedicure and they flip them things in the garbage. Like, this is enough to shut down a 90% scoring man who already done probably spent 10 times this $16? Yes, I'm trying to understand the mindset. If I'm trying to understand the mindset, like, I guess there's just no chances anymore. You don't get no chances anymore at this point. Like, and then she goes on to say that, what I'm saying, I guess she's taking this position because she came from a relationship where she was paying for everything or something. And I'm like, what that got to do with this brother though? Yeah, that's what you was doing with some other guy. Like, what does that have to do with this brother that's been making this investment? Your neighbor that's been making this investment in you through this whole dating process. Like, what does that got to do with him? Yeah, like, let's keep it real. Like, how do we ever expect to get to the next step if we can't get past a $16 sandal debatable? And that's the other thing. This the other thing. Let me ask this. This the other thing. Ladies, I need you to help me understand this. I know we done touched on this before, but I need you to help me understand this. Like, why does the bottom fall out when y'all gotta spend some money? Like, for the life of me, I need some lady to explain this to me. Y'all go out here, y'all get these jobs, y'all career women, what some of the ladies, they boss chicks, all of that. Y'all making the buku dollars. We hear the stats all the time. Y'all, I get it. So y'all making all the money out here. Why is it such an issue when y'all got to spend some of this money?
I think it's.
I can go ahead.
Oh, go ahead, Joe.
You get it, Joe. Go ahead, man. We listening.
It's simple. I mean, I think y'all looking at this very logically. Logically, this doesn't make any sense. But the reason why the bottom doesn't fall out, or why does the bottom fall out when they have to spend money? Well, you wouldn't ask that question when they want to go see a Chris Brown concert and pay $1,000 for a photo. So it's not about them not spending money, it's who they're spending money with. Who are they motivated to spend money with? They'll of course they'll complain about a man that they're not motivated to invest in if they're not interested in a man emotionally. right? You guys are like this brain, logical, thinking. This doesn't make any sense. It's not logical. You got 10 green flags, 1 red flag. You know, how does that add up? You would think 10 will overcome. She was looking for a reason not to be with him. It could have been anything. She could have stepped on her big toe and said, "Oh, that's it." He had 20 green flags up to that one point. So she's processing that he is overall a good man, or as it was said, a nice guy. But as B-Boxer always famously like to say, nice guys don't make women single. So, so in Sybil, you mentioned it twice. You said he's a nice guy. He's a nice guy, and I was like, that was the issue. You can check off all the boxes on a woman's list. It will make not a difference. A man who checks none of those boxes, but makes her feel a certain kind of way that even she can't rationalize, that's all that matters. They'll follow it up with, she'll rationalize the reasons why she's attracted to a man. Simultaneously. But also, on the flip side, a woman will rationalize all kinds of reasons why she shouldn't be, even if it's one reason, a $16 pair of sandals. So it's not a logical thing. It's just he just wasn't doing it for her. It doesn't matter how nice of a guy he is, how prim and proper, how respectful he was, how many doors he opened. All that stuff is chivalry. That's good, but it only matters for a woman who wants that chivalry from that particular man she wants. So even the way she was talking about it, oh, well, he was in proximity. It was like it was like entertainment for her. As casual as logging onto Facebook and checking her DM messages. Oh, it was just there. He was just around me. I mean, that's even that in itself is disrespectful. It's like, oh well, all right, I guess I'll go because he asked and there was no one else around. It was kind of like you're bored. That was the kind of energy she gave off. It wasn't, I'm excited to go on a date. It was he was excited to go on a date. So you put all that time and energy and effort and money into it, and it only took one thing to set her up. No, a man that she wants, it would take no thing for him to get with her. He could have 10 red flags, 1 green flag, and it's still something about him. It shit happens to me. And I'm like, okay, but I'm not your type. Oh, okay. So I know I don't check off these things on your list. You just told me, but why are you even attracted to me? I don't know. It's just something I can't even explain it. How does a woman just instantly want to go on a date with me from seeing me within a split second? Don't know nothing about me, my personality, my character. None of that matters. It just happens instantly. So she didn't feel that. She was hoping to. But I think y'all giving her a lot of flack because, well, if she should logically, you should do it because why not? She's sabotaging it. No, it would not have worked anyways. Even if she forced it, she could have forced it and said, well, he's a good guy. He's checking these lists. He's a nice guy. It should work on paper. But then fast forward a year or two from now, she ended up cheating with somebody. She ended up doing things behind his back, disrespecting him more. So a woman just has to be emotionally attracted to a man for it to make logical sense for her. It can't be logical sense before emotional attraction. That's all.
Okay. I ain't mad at that. Go ahead, Coco.
I want to add to that because Joe basically hit on what I was going to hit on too, right? She just said that she left a previous situation where she paid for everything. So why is she tripping about $16? Because just like Joe said, something about this guy, he just wasn't doing it for her. He just wasn't doing it for her. Because you're telling me that this man took you to a nice restaurant and told you order whatever you wanted, and you just left the situation where you pay for everything, talking about you a princess? What princess pays for everything? Girl, stop. Boo, bye. Like, which is it? Are you a princess or not? Like, how do you call yourself a princess and label yourself a princess, but you just left the situation where you pay for everything? Like, that's crazy. Or it's exactly what Joe said, that whoever this other guy was, it was worth it to you because you was feeling him like that. So you were willing to play the fool. And now this guy comes along and you tripping about $16. So this is what B-Boxer be saying when he say women have different standards for different guys, right? So I think we just saw that play out. You guys are right. It was easy for her to sabotage the date because she clearly wasn't feeling him like that. It was just an opportunity. And can you pull up the video real quick? I'm not gonna keep y'all, but can you pull up the video real quick? Her video again. You don't have to play it.
What part
Like
you want?
boom, right there. Okay. So this is how she look all the time. Stay with me. This is how she looks all the time. On a regular, just on a humble. This is how she looks. This right here. Now, can you fast forward to the date? Can you go back to the date outfit? Let's see. Try to go back to the date outfit, please, Mr. Price.
Yeah, I'll try to find it. Let me see. I'm trying to see where she was. Hold on.
Because like we've seen each other. I mean, the first, but do you want to meet like green flag neighborhood? So I thought that's
where she was.
Between this time, he showed
up. This is what she looked like on her date.
She's fine.
Now, but hold on one second. Hold on 1 second. This is what she looked like on the date. Okay. Now, as a girl, I know what I'm looking at. I know what she's done to accentuate and to enhance herself. I know because I'm a woman and I know what we have available to us. But this is what she looks like on a regular day.
She's still fine.
So she's average in this particular caption. She's average. Come on.
I got you. I got you.
Nah.
It's subjective. It's subjective, but she's average. If you hadn't seen her dolled up, and you just saw her like this, you would say that she's pretty privileged?
No, I still approach it. I think most men would.
That's not what I said. Yeah. That's not what I said. That's not what I said. What I said was, if you saw her like you hadn't seen her dolled up, and this was all you saw, would you say she's pretty privileged?
No, probably not.
Answer that?
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. So
okay.
This is the first thing we saw before we saw that second part.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, I get it. I say I can see why she would say, why she was out with the guy on the date. Everyone was saying, I'm sure she get those kind of compliments looking like, to me, she doesn't even need it. Well, she looks good as she is. Well, maybe light makeup, maybe none. But obviously she had a little bit more in the second part where she added some, features or whatever, but she didn't need it. She could have gone out like this and she most likely would have got very similar compliments and comments, and it would have just blew her head up even more. I could just look like this and not have to wear makeup. So I'm just being honest. She's a good looking woman. So yeah, she would have got those pretty privileged comments. But also that comes with that the ego, then I guess everyone else saying I'm this, I'm a princess. So that can get to some people's head, arrogance, for better or for worse, it is what it is. But yeah, no, she would have still got those same comments about pretty privilege. It has nothing to do with her makeup. She looks good right there in that state. Just being honest, in a tank top with nothing, hair up, she looked good.
Right. So that's your opinion, right? I didn't say she didn't look good. That's not what I said. What I said was she looks like the average looking, nice, attractive woman, in my personal opinion, right? As a woman, and I have no problem calling out a beautiful woman at all. It don't hurt or affect my esteem at all. As a matter of fact, I'm making my business to do that because I think we should do that. She's an attractive woman. Clearly, she's an attractive woman, right? But this is what she looks like on the average. And to me, it's average. Like, I don't know what y'all consider somebody worthy of pretty privilege these days. And I know there's some of it is subjective, but I'm like, for this woman to be seeing this guy all the time, you know, looking average attractiveness, and then to look different once she gets all dolled up and she does her hair and she lifts her boobs and she adds makeup, like that's different, right? And then now we're a princess, and now we deserve princess treatment, and now we deserve pretty privilege. And now a man should want to buy me shoes because I wanted to wear kitten heels to the beach.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's just, so I mean, I just wanted to call that out, because I think this is the delusion that we're seeing in the dating market, right? Like, if this is how you look all the time walking around, there may be some truth to the fact that he waited until you had your bikini on, because maybe he didn't see it.
Oh, that's no. I'm not buying
Maybe
that.
he didn't see. Maybe he didn't see what he
It
saw
took him a
once you
while to muster up the
dolled up.
courage to talk to her. No, how
Maybe
can
he
you be
didn't see it,
dolled up in a bikini in a swimming? She most likely looked the same, because unless she's wearing makeup at the pool, or she
which
probably
they
not.
do.
So
Which
sometimes
they do.
true, but I'm assuming that she's not thinking about nothing. I'm at the pool. What do I need to doll myself up for? Okay, cool. I'm chilling. He saw more skin, so that helped too. But he was always attracted to her. It took him that long to get the courage to talk, to say something to her. She was probably right about that, but he was always into her. Just took him a long time to get around to it. Wasted his time, but it is what it is. I'm just saying, in that state, you're saying, I'm not saying she's a good looking. We acknowledge that, but pretty privileged, she was still walking around like that. I mean, you can look at most guys, if they're jacked up, they don't have to wear a whole lot. You go around with a tank top, some shorts, they get approached. I know, because I did it. So you don't have to be all stylish and dialed up and made up and to get that, if you have those natural features. She just does. I'm just saying. Just being honest. Being honest. Now
I mean, she's all right.
pretty
She's all right.
It's just crazy to me. Oh, it's
Like,
crazy to me, Sybil, 'cause I'm listening to them. Listen,
Good look.
Let's go.
But I mean,
I'm listening to
She's
them, and
all
I'm like, she's
is.
attractive, clearly,
She's a
but
pretty woman. She
what
just
are
is.
y'all like? What? Okay, all right,
He's saying she's all right. I don't know, man. It's
okay.
uh,
She's
yeah, I mean,
attractive,
she's
clearly,
cool.
like,
but
Some people
y'all are.
look at
he was walking
Beyonce, but
down the
like,
street.
oh, Beyonce,
15
she's all
walking
right.
down the street.
Beyonce is cool. If I saw Beyonce in the street, I'd just walk right. I probably wouldn't give her say, yeah, okay, sure, I
You can't
believe you.
compare her to Beyonce. She may be closer to
Right.
Maya, but I mean, she ain't no Beyonce.
I
It's
agree.
just like,
And Maya's
but also
beautiful.
the side profile, a little Simpson-y, a little Mr. Burnsy. I'm just saying. But one
It's
thing that I
objective.
actually want to kind of, it's not like a gear shift completely because it's still on topic, but I think it kind of pertains to the actual topic of the episode. Are we sabotaging relationships? 100%. Like, I almost kind of feel bad for this young woman because her expectations are so warped, and the experiences she's had has warped her reality so much that she doesn't even know what an example of a solid, good relationship looks like. So she doesn't know what to even look for. If she's trying to build a man, so to speak, starting with somebody that has the green flags that he has is a lot better than somebody who drives a flashy car or they got like the cool high-rise apartment for the time being, because a lot of that stuff come and goes. And if like that attraction is built on either finances or physical appearance, that goes away. And especially over time. And then that leads to like divorces, people breaking up after spending 10, 15 years together. Now they're single parents. Like, all of these things are indicative of each other. We really need to start delving into what relationships look like what a good, solid relationship looks like. So we know the things that no one's going to come prepackaged perfect. And for her, she got, worn out by a dude who made her pay for everything. Now her trauma is so high that a $16 pair of shoes, she calls that a instant deal breaker, because that subject for her is so touchy. it's like such a touchy subject. And I mean, realistically, the guy probably was intimidated to go talk to her, or maybe just her appearance without makeup on. It's like she's cool, but it's not worth, maybe blowing up the place where I live. And then when he saw her in the bikini, he was like, might be worth the risk now. Or he could have just got the actual courage to talk to her. One or the same. But yeah, I think we as just Black people, or just Americans right now, for real, we don't understand what solid, good relationships are. So we have these like virtual reality relationships and parasocial relationships with people online that we forget like how to actually give the back and forth with a human being. Because the things that he lacked in that date that she saw as red flags could be 2 things he can work on versus a guy that, makes her tickle and he's got 10 red flags. And that means he's got 10 things to work on. And then he'll get mad at her and say, you're trying to change. Versus a guy with like 2 things, just round out the edges a little bit. I know I needed that, especially like when I first started dating my wife. Like I had to go through those growing pains. And it just happens.
Yeah, no, that's valid, Civil. That's really the point. Yeah, that's really the point. The stuff that we are cutting folks off for is ridiculous. I know we just went to a whole, case with the young lady and the looks and all of that. And let me just keep it a bean since we had the conversation, right? The chick is regular. Let me just keep it a bean. Yeah, she looked like any other light-skinned chick out here with some little soft hair. Like she regular, right? So let's just call it what it is. Now,
y'all be stuck on that though.
You say who?
Y'all be stuck on that though. That's why.
No, I understand. But she a regular chick, right?
Very stuck on it. Very.
Let's
okay.
Call it what it is.
Very.
Oh man, here they go.
Very.
Here they
Well,
go.
Oh my God.
Let me get this
someone's
thought out.
regular,
Let me get
they're
this
probably
thought
not
out,
gonna
Cole.
get-
Hold on.
Go ahead.
Before y'all come jumping on me. Just hold on a minute. But she just a regular chick, right? So let's just keep it real. She wouldn't like it if the guy that she went out on a date with, if he came at her on some stuff like that. Yeah, if he was ready to go ahead and bypass the rest of that relationship because, you know what I'm saying, I don't know, whatever his preference is, maybe he wanted her to gain a little weight. She too skinny. Well, whatever it is. But she would have had a problem with it. So I'm like, the fact that you're ready to sabotage your chances with this gentleman, let's say, because it could have been something. I said, we don't have all the context. We going off of the video, right? It could have been something there, but you're ready to sabotage it over some $16 sandals. And it's just like he could have came at you on some nonsense like that and did the same thing, but he didn't do that to you. Yeah, so I think at some point we gotta think about how we're approaching these relationships, and we also gotta consider that everybody ain't got it all together. Like I don't know why we get like that or why we feel that way. Yep, everybody don't have it all together, and that includes you. Yes, like what I'm noticing today is just like people, it's like we want the other person to be spotless, but we don't be spotless. Yeah, we don't have all the angles covered. We don't have all the I don't know what this young lady's conversation was like. Like I don't know what she really was on. Like she could have been whack. We ain't heard from the dude. Yeah, but you ready to throw my man in the friend zone after you done extracted what you done extracted out of my man. Now you ready to throw him in the friend zone over some $16 flip-flops. And it's like you may not be all the way on point yourself. Yeah, you think you are. That's why you're going around calling yourself a princess. That right there is a red flag. Yeah, some chick at your age going around calling yourself a princess. Like, let's be for real. That sounds like some little kitty stuff. Like, what is you talking about?
Childish.
Yeah, how old are you going around calling yourself a princess? Like, what the? So you see what I'm saying? So you ready to throw him off on some $16 slippers, but you calling yourself a princess and you think that's cool? He's supposed to accept that? Like that says wife? That says wifey? You talking about you a princess? Like, Like, so you see how we do that? Like, she ain't on point herself. But then she ready to blow him off over some $16 flip-flops that he never said. In his defense, he never said he wouldn't pay for them. She just opened up the purse before he did something. Yes, I mean, it's crazy how we move it. What'd you say, Joe? Go ahead, man.
He was supposed to read her mind at that very moment and predict ahead of time into the future. Oh, she might reject me, but this might be the 10th, the one red flag. What if I beat her to the punch and I pay? We don't listen. Like I say, if something as simple as you stepping on a thumbtack can make someone go like, "Oh my God, he's trying to kill me," then she wasn't into the guy. I mean, I'm not demonizing for that. I think, again, her logic is silly, but it's like, okay, a lot of women's logic is silly sometimes when emotions are involved. She's not. This is her way of saying without saying, I'm just not feeling that. If she had left it at that, this wouldn't even be a discussion. But because she tried to logically explain her, oh, I'm just not into this guy, and looking for reasons not to do it, while also simultaneously describing how great of a guy he is, she makes herself look bad. And everyone else is probably having the same commentary. Oh, she's crazy. He checked off all these lists on this box. And if she had just simply said, he was a great guy, I wasn't into him, this wouldn't even be a discussion. But yeah, I see right through it because I understand how this is simply how women typically are. And you're not feeling it. Just say that. You don't have to explain yourself to nobody. But she tried to, and that was the issue. Now this is where the flack is coming from. Her lack of logic, especially from us as a man. We look at it and say, wait a second, 1 + 1 is not equaling 2. She's saying it's 4. She's saying it's 3. It's weird. And okay, she's crazy. She's mentally deranged. No, she's just a woman trying to explain emotions that she doesn't feel for a man. That's all. That's it.
No, I get that. Yeah. No, like I said, I'm just really, once again, I think we got to look at our mindset and how we approach it and stuff. And just, consider, are we sabotaging stuff before we get it off the ground? But let me keep going. We got a couple more down here.
Correct a gesture. So should you correct a gesture? So if you're with someone, you going to get an oil change. Oil change is $150. They only give you $100. You didn't ask for the money. You didn't ask for it, but they gave you a half gesture. So
Did you tell him how much these things cost?
Yeah, if he'll ask, he'll be like, hey, how much is the oil change?
And you'll say 150 and he'll send you 100.
Yeah.
Now, that's crazy.
Are you married?
About to be.
So what's the problem? You already signed up.
I am appreciative of his gesture because he didn't have to do it.
So why is the correction not with your acceptance, but with his action?
Damn.
That's good.
But I have an issue with a man that I'm telling is $150 and he's giving me $100. So now I'm thinking about your leadership. Now I'm thinking about other ways that you're going to short me. Now I'm thinking about how you also going to be frugal and petty and penny pinch in other departments, right? And so it may not be a heart wound, right? This is just baseline reciprocity. Why is it that I'm showing up for you fully, but you feel a need to give me 100 on 150? You're literally telling him the price and he's giving you a portion of it. So I want to know, where's the rest of it, baby? Because when you in my household, you're going to leave my household, right? And you're going to provide a covenant from me, and you want me to respect you and lead, right? And you want me to be submissive. Where is my other $50?
Thank you.
Period.
Thank you.
Hey, hold on. For all the brothers. If you ain't gonna pay the whole thing, don't ask how much it costs. Just don't ask how much it costs. And I'm imagining he got it.
Yeah, oh yeah, he got it.
And so the fact of the matter that he's only sending you 100 is crazy.
It is not crazy.
Yes, it is.
What am I saving for wife then? If
you gonna go there?
We got an established black man who loves you enough to put a ring on it and says, you know what? We're going to start you off with the 65% because I need to incentivize you to get to the promised land.
Good point.
Now, once we're married, because I'm taking you in now, baby, you done upgraded. How foolish of it is me and men like me to tell other men that it is okay to fully provide for a woman that hasn't said yes to you as wife? What am I doing? I got daughters that need tuition. I got parents that need care. I got to save for my own health insurance mostly. So I, as a black man who knows how hard it is to make $1, advise any other man to pay 100% of anything for a woman. And guess what? She said yes anyway.
Okay.
So don't ask me. I'm hot. Don't ask me. She didn't ask you to pay for it. You asked her how much it is. And so she said, oh, it's 150. Don't ask me then. Like, it's really like his point about him not having to support her if that's not her husband. I get you, and I don't disagree. So then why you ask me?
She said he didn't ask though.
Huh?
She said he didn't ask.
She said he asked her how much does that cost, and she told him 150, and he sent her 100.
Hold on.
What?
Hold on a minute.
Stay on. Should you correct a gesture? So if you're with someone, you going to get an oil change. Oil change is $150. They only give you 100. You didn't ask for the money. You didn't ask.
Okay.
Keep going.
For it. But they gave you a half gesture. So you.
Did you tell him how much these things cost?
Yeah, if he'll ask, he'll be like, hey, how much is the oil change?
And you'll say 150 and he'll send you 100.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Are you married?
About to be.
So what's the problem? You already signed up.
Okay.
Wait.
So that's the point I was making. So he asked her how much it was. He asked her how much is the oil change. She says it's 150. He then proceeds to send her 100. It's like, why did you? Don't get me wrong, it is a gesture, but I guess my thought process is this though. If you weren't sure that you could cover it because you have no idea what she's going to tell you it is, you don't know, right? If you're not in a position where you're prepared to pay for whatever this said cost is, why ask her what it is with the intention to send her money for it, right? Like, why ask her with the intention to send her money for it and then send, a portion of it, right? Mind you, this is a woman he is engaged to. So he has promised to make her his wife, right? Now, anything can happen, but he has promised to make her his wife, right? So I guess I'm on, in this particular instance, I am like, okay, you don't have to do this. You don't. But if you're saying I'm going to do it, like, don't get me wrong. I appreciate the $100. I'm going to take it. Thank you. I appreciate it. But why would you ask me and I tell you and you send me a portion of it, or I guess I don't necessarily understand it because I'm more in a wheelhouse of if you do got other responsibilities and other financial things that you're doing, and I didn't ask you to pay for my oil change because I'm prepared to pay for it because I'm used to it. I know how much it costs. Then why are we even having this particular situation? And maybe it's because I personally have never dealt with that. Like, I don't forgive me, anybody that might get triggered by this, but I don't have a low effort man. I don't know what that's about. So I don't have a situation where I'm gonna tell you what something costs and you're gonna send me a piece of it. I don't do that. I don't know what that is. I can't relate.
What you gotta get instant rebates, Coco? What you gotta get instant rebates?
I mean, just it's cool if you. My thing is, it's cool if you ain't got it. Like, I'm not even mad at you, like, because I didn't ask you. Like, I get it. I've been paying for my oil changes. It's not like you and I had a conversation about this is how we're gonna do things. We didn't have that conversation, so I don't really have the expectation that you're gonna pay for my oil changes because we ain't talked about that. So you You asking me, but then you sending a like.
But it
This
didn't
has got to be the
seem like he
biggest
was
gaslight
asking
I've ever heard
so
in
that
my
he could
life.
pay for it. It seemed like he was asking just in conversation, like, man, how much does something like that cost? Oh, $150. You know what?
Okay.
She didn't ask me to pay for it. I'm just gonna do something real nice and send her $100. Here's $100 off of your
Just that
$150
simple.
purchase.
Can I say
And
something, Quay?
for her, she's
He's
and that's
a
a
low effort man.
Can I
He's
say
low
something,
effort
Quay?
because he
Can
Go
I
didn't.
say
ahead,
something,
Vince. I'm
Quay?
gonna let you go on and get it. Go ahead, Vince.
She saved $100.
This
That's not what we're talking about. She didn't save $100. No, it's that he didn't pay the whole $150. It was his responsibility just to pay the whole thing because he asked about it. Not one time did anyone, at least not any woman so far, has said, "Wow, thank you." And had she only had done that, it could have been a test the whole
Okay,
time.
okay.
And
So
I've
I'm
done
gonna
it.
ask
I've done
you,
that.
Oh, wait, I
Joe.
gotta
I'm
let
gonna
Vince
ask
get
you.
in.
Hold
You
on.
can't
I'm a woman.
appreciate.
So I'm a woman. So I'm not pulling out my pocketbook to pay your oil change. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna be like, "Are you hungry? You hungry?" And you're gonna say, "Yeah, I'm hungry." And I'm gonna say, "Okay, hold on." And I'm gonna go grab a bag of chips and I'm gonna toss it in your lap. Here you go.
$100
Can
ain't a
you
bag
believe
of
making
chips.
that comparison?
I'm
Maybe she
just
made him
That's
a sandwich
crazy.
instead of a steak.
just saying.
I'll eat the
I'm just
sandwich.
saying.
That's crazy.
I'm
Quay,
just saying. I'm gonna give you
Quay.
the point that I'm making is you said you're hungry, and instead of giving you a meal, I give you a snack. This is what I'm saying to you. All right. It's not comparable because we're talking about money, but to some men it is because they don't want my money. That's not what they want from me, right? What they want is what I bring, and I'm not bringing a checkbook. So if you tell me you're hungry, and hungry really requires a meal so you can be full, you can be satiated. But instead of making sure you're satiated, I bring you a snack. I don't bring you a meal. I bring you a snack. Because you ain't my husband after all anyway. I'll wait till you're my husband and then I'll bring you a meal.
I
Until
would
then,
say
you
thank
get the
you
snack and
going about
appreciate
my
the
day. I
gesture.
won't complain about it.
Quay,
Let me get
Quay,
Vince in here. Let me get Vince in here. Let me get
Quay.
Vince in here. Go ahead, Vince. Go ahead, Vince. It's on you. Go ahead.
This is why these ladies are confused. This is why your money don't matter. This is why all that I'm independent, I got my own money, don't mean nothing because at the end of the day, y'all don't want to pay for nothing. Okay, say he say he hungry and you bring him a Subway sandwich, but you didn't get the chips. But he's hungry. He says, "Wow, babe, thanks for bringing me a sandwich. But even though you know I like a combo, but you brought me a sandwich."
And he gonna eat it and be
I'm
hungry.
gonna be, but see, men are gonna be
He's still
satisfied
gonna be
with
hungry.
that.
He's still gonna be hungry.
Okay.
He's still
And
gonna
that's
be
not
hungry.
and that's not his wife. Whatever. And see, this is the whole thing.
He's still
I
gonna
wish,
be hungry.
well, if he hungry, he hungry. But at least she
And then
did
you're gonna have to get
something.
something else.
Well, at least she did something. My thing is, if it wasn't for him, she'd have to pay the whole 150. So at the end of the day,
She
this
already
this
was gonna pay
but
it.
this is why these relationships don't work because women are not fucking honest.
Goodness.
Women are not
Wow.
honest. Just say y'all don't want to pay for nothing. And then go, but see, y'all want it
Nah,
both
this
ways.
ain't a
But see, y'all,
situation that this ain't that situation.
y'all, yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
No,
Y'all
it
want
ain't
it both
because
ways.
she already had paid for the oil change. So this is what I'm saying. She been paying for her oil change. She didn't
So
even
he got to bring,
He asked.
so he got to bring the whole thing. He can't bring a,
No.
if she
It ain't
paying
what
him,
he got to do. It's not about what he got to do, right? This is not that she even required him to. See, that's the part that y'all are missing. It's not even that she required him to do it. She didn't ask him. She didn't require it, right?
she expected.
She didn't.
And
But
she
you know what?
expected.
You know what? You know what? You know what? Let me be honest. Once he asked, there was an expectation. Prior to him asking, she expected to have to pay this $150 for this oil change because that's what she'd been doing. But the minute he said, well, how much does that cost? That then introduces an expectation.
So
Because
maybe,
why would
so
you be
maybe that was,
asking?
so maybe that was. See, this is why it don't work when women make more money than men. because you don't want to pay for shit. You just don't, and that's fine. But just be honest about it. Just be honest about it. Y'all say, "Oh, we educated, we this, we that, we other." But when the mortgage comes,
Independent.
you don't want to pay half. You just don't. And then if you do, you're not gonna respect the dude. You're not gonna respect him.
It's
Just
proof.
like with all these other people, just like with all these celebrity relationships, they're not gonna work because the woman makes more than the man, and that's just how it goes. You saying, "Well, he should have paid the whole other bit," but he paid $100. That $100 she could use for something else.
Thank you for that. But here's the thing.
Looking at the glass half empty instead of half full.
For that, and I appreciate it. It's not about two things can be true.
No, they can't. One thing is true. No, I don't. One thing is true. And one thing is a lie.
Well, you have to let me finish in order to see where I'm going with it. Two things can be true, right? She can appreciate his gesture, but still be wondering, okay, but why not cover it though? Like if you're asking me how much it costs, why not cover it? Like why send because it's not like we had the expectation, right? Like I think that's part of it. Like it has to be communication, right? Like if it is a situation where I am, we are going to do half and half, where I'm going to pay half the mortgage, you're going to pay half the mortgage. The thing is let's make that clear from the jump. Like this is what we're doing, right? So that the expectation is set and so that there is no assumption. Now, maybe where she went wrong was when he asked her about the cost, she assumed he was going to cover it. And that's probably her issue, right? Because she assumed he's asking because he's going to cover it. So then when he sends a portion of the payment, she's like, wait. In her mind, she was thinking he's asking because he's going to cover it, right? And so, if anything, I would say that's where she made her mistake, because him asking didn't necessarily mean he was going to cover it. You just assume because he asked he was going to cover it, right? So I would that that could have been the issue, but at the same time, yeah, I'm going to be honest. Like I'll appreciate the $100. It's $100. So I'm not one of those chicks where I'm like, this is nothing. But at the same time, even I'm going to be like, okay, well, you gave me the $100. Cool. But I did say it was $150. Like, so.
But if this is her fiance, then she should know how he get down. Right? If she's going to marry this man, she should have known if I ask for $150, he's going to give me $100. When my wife know what I'm going to say before I say it. She know when we go in the store, I'm going to look for a deal. I'm going to look for a deal. I'm not going to get the most expensive, and I ain't going to get the cheapest. I'm going to get somewhere in the middle. So you might go in there thinking you go get a Birkin.
If he borrowed money, then he ain't have it. He shouldn't offer it.
But she know he ain't have it.
She just?
If he don't have it, she know he ain't have it, because she should know his finances. So she should have said. So she should have said, "No, babe, that's okay. I got it."
No. It's your financial. It's your financial situation. You shouldn't have offered. Now, come on now. He's a man. Right? He asked her how much it was. Like,
but maybe he's doing the best that he can.
If you are not in a situation, where you can afford to pay for it, why are you even asking her how much it costs? Like, she got it. She didn't ask you to pay for it. So if you are not in the financial situation where you can pay for it, why even start the conversation of asking this woman how much something that she does costs if you're not about to take on that? Come on, let's walk down it, hot dog it. Let's run down it, okay? Because this is a man that's entertaining becoming a woman's covering. That means you're gonna cover her. So if you've now committed to marrying this woman and she's about to be your wife, and you've said that and you've committed to that, she is now going to be your responsibility. At the end of the day, you're going to be her leader. She's going to be under you, and she's going to be your responsibility. So if that is what you're preparing your mind and your heart to do, which is be her covering, She can understand it if you ain't got it. Sometimes you just don't have it. So if you don't have it, and it is what it is, then why are you even discussing how much something costs that she's currently responsible for if you are not going to cover her? You might as well keep your money that you have because you need it. And this is the only time that y'all gonna hear me say stuff like this, because y'all know I don't normally do this. But it sounds like you need the 100, boo-boo. So you keep the 100. You keep it because you need it, because I need 150. I don't need no 100. I need 150.
Exactly. And that's what a woman will do. They'll break a man's ego
So
for $50.
if you don't have it, it's okay. I'm not even mad that you don't. I would rather you, if you tight this week, why would you send me $100 if you tight this week?
Because maybe I'm
Not
giving you
tight.
my last
$100, but you
Maybe
tight.
I'm giving you my last $100.
You
Oh, yeah,
tight.
wait.
It doesn't
Y'all
even
missing-
make sense. Like, keep the $100. Keep it, right?
He
I
had
do
the money.
appreciate that you're thinking of me, but if you tight, keep it.
He had the
Because
money.
maybe next time you'll have it and you'll be like, oh, I got it, boo. I got you.
Y'all keep wait.
That's
Y'all
not
keep
what
Or
saying
next time
y'all
I might not have it and I might need it, and then you can cover me. But if you need it this week,
hypothetically.
you keep it. It
But
doesn't.
you not having it is okay though.
Wait a second.
It's about
she
us.
said
Not
that they
Well, wait,
asked
ain't no
her,
us yet. Ain't no us yet.
But she said they engaged.
they asked her.
But that
They
didn't matter when he
asked
said
her-
100 instead of 150.
Well, that's
They
maybe all
asked
he
her
got is
if the
100.
man.
I'm
Well, then he should keep his 100.
I'm pretty sure that she's
He
an
should keep
Y'all hear
independent,
me?
strong black woman that don't need no
You
man.
need that.
And she
You
got
need
a man that didn't have no money.
Hold on.
And she working
Hold
with him.
on.
That's what
He
it
had
is.
the money. He had
But
the
she
money.
working with him, but he ain't working fast enough. Like most of these
Y'all
situations,
keep
he ain't
talking
working
about something
fast
that's
enough.
not even. That's not. Y'all keep talking about hypotheticals. She said
It's a
they asked her.
hypothetical scenario.
No, but but they asked her, and I did catch it. They asked her. It was only like 2 or 3 seconds. Like, did he not have the other $50 or something to that effect? She said he has money. He makes good money.
They did ask her that.
So
They did.
he had the money. He was able to cover the whole 150. It wasn't an issue of him not, trying to take care of his thing. And no, he could have done it. That and then some is the way he had it. That look. So
Maybe that's
now
why she felt some type of way.
Well, they need to have a
And-
conversation then, don't they?
into that, if that's his fiance. Now, me personally, if that's my fiance and I'm planning on marrying her, that's not the way I would want to leave with my best foot forward. I would want to do, as Coco says, cover her completely. When I think of covering, I'm not thinking of half an umbrella. That's just me. So I actually agree with Coco on that. If she was just a girlfriend or someone he's dating or seeing, okay, you tell me how much this costs. Oh, that's how much, it takes your car to get fixed, $500. Okay, I'll give you, 200, 300, whatever, and then go from there, right? See how that goes from there. Because some women can have those unrealistic expectations. I expect my boyfriend to do all these things, but I'm not willing to do anything of the sort in return. So you want these husband privileges, but that's different. That's a fiance. I personally, if that was the love of my life, and I'm got on one knee, he went through the whole thing. You can imagine. He set it up. I planned it. I have family and friends showing up to propose, and it's gonna be a whole thing, and we're planning a wedding. I would not have done $150. I would not have done that if she was my fiance. Not at all. Not in the maybe.
I do it all the
if she my
time.
girlfriend.
I do it all the time. Remy say
You
she
do?
need 500. I'm gonna give you 250.
Same here.
I don't believe you.
Because
I don't believe you, Vince. Do you?
Don't have me go wake her up. I do it all the time. Because you gonna work with what you need 5, I'm gonna give you 250.
Okay.
You need 6,000, I'm gonna give you 3,000. Because if I give you the whole 6,000, then you're gonna ask me for 8,000. That's just how I think.
I'm gonna ask you for what I need. I'm gonna ask you for what I need. So if I need 500, give me 550. I don't know why. Why are you
Coco, you sound
why
like
are you
one of
giving
the
me
girls from my
You know why?
team right now.
Because I
y'all
figured out that y'all
crazy?
ain't never really
No,
satisfied
if
no
I
way.
need 500, give
Civil,
me 550. What you giving
y'all
me?
ain't never really
Oh,
satisfied
that
no
is
way.
what. That ain't what I need.
Wait, so Coco, are you saying that
No, man.
if you're
I
the
don't know.
kid that gets a car on their 18th birthday, are you going to get mad at your parents because that car's not a BMW or a Benz? Are you just going to be happy with what they got you?
Absolute. So first of all,
How's
remove
it different?
don't remove it from a man, woman, husband, wife covering situation. I'm staying there. If
How
I
you gonna
tell
cover a
my
woman
Most
that's
people
standing
don't
up
even
in
husband,
look
front
at
of an
but most
auditorium
people
of
ain't even
people
looking at it
if
that
I
way,
do,
talking
Coco.
about
Most
something
people
that you
looking
done
at
done
it,
with her in the
we
past?
50
That,
50.
you can't
no,
cover a
He
woman
ain't
like
I was a
above
kid.
me. He ain't
No,
my covering. We
I'm a
both
kid. I'm a,
each
whatever my
other's
parents give
covering.
me.
People ain't even looking at it the way you looking at it, Chloe.
that.
Okay, well
They
maybe
just
that's
Yeah.
part
not.
of the problem.
Yeah, it is. It is part of the problem because you're looking at it. He's my covering. I'm his helpmate. They looking at
So
it, we the same.
Oh
We the
well,
Oh,
see,
same.
that's
We
why
both
when I say I
we
need
each
500
other's
and you send me
helpmate. We
550.
each other's covering. He ain't over me. I ain't over him. We the same. So if you the
yeah.
same, then
I
they
think
the
the issue
same.
is that
Equality.
man, in this situation,
What point is that,
he sees it. He
Donovan? I
sees
ain't
it
get
as
that.
equal.
What point is that?
I think he sees it, Vince. I think the man in the situation, there's a miscommunication between those two because he sees it as we're the same, we're equal. I can do, half and half, whatever. She sees it as that traditional, I'm submissive and, you cover everything, that traditional
Exactly.
1950s housewife thing. So two totally different expectations from these people. So she has to have that conversation with him because that's not going to automatically that relationship is not going to work because that's two totally different lanes. If she's getting like this and she's going to a whole panel, she flew out there, right? She attended, she probably paid a ticket. She did all this because this one thing was on her mind. $50. $50 was on. She spent more than $50 to get to the event. And hotel and air flight and food just so she can get down
Wow.
to how's this going on? Because I see myself as a traditional. He doesn't see herself that way. He doesn't see her as a traditional. He sees it partly as this modern equality thing. And how they did not have that conversation long before he got on one knee to ask her, will you marry me? Is beyond me. That's their issue. But that's
Quay,
it.
can I jump in right quick?
go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Remy just came down here because she heard me talking. And she just said, that's why I asked you for more than what I need anyway. She got me. I can't believe it.
Oh my God!
She know her
Cole
man,
said
just
it.
like that
She
lady.
said
She
it.
I'm
know
going
her
to
man.
be covered. I'm going to be covered. I'm going to
I
be
said,
covered.
oh, that's
I'm
what
going
we
to be
doing.
covered. So
Okay.
listen, guys, like I don't know
That's
why
what
y'all.
we doing. Okay.
I don't
Okay.
know
She
why
said, been
y'all.
doing. Hey, Quay, she said, been doing. She said, I know
And
my husband.
I got you, Remy.
If I
So
need
anyway,
$5,000, if I need 500, I'm gonna ask for 1,000 because I know he's gonna give me 700.
Yeah,
but
see,
this is
Ooh,
my point. But
ooh.
right, it's girl math. It's girl math because this is my point. Girl math. Like
Insane.
y'all don't have to agree with it. It's okay because as women we have to have something. So if it's girl math, right? Like I can't
Ridiculous.
giving me more. That's acceptable. Giving me less don't make sense.
So that
Like
would make you a
giving
liar
me
then.
more.
Come on.
The right answer is to give me more.
No, that would make you a liar.
The
You would
wrong
lie to your
answer is to
husband.
give me less.
You would lie to your husband
can't
and
That's
make this
say,
shit up.
you know
absolutely
this.
no. I don't have to lie, but I'm
That's
just
a
saying,
lie.
like she's doing what she got to do. She doing what she got to do. That's we not
Lie.
about to judge Remy. We not gonna do her. Okay, she's
Lying.
doing what she got to do. But
This is
my
what it
thing is
is.
this. My thing is this. Like, just to cover Donovan's point, right? Like, obviously, I'm being a little tongue in cheek, but my point is this: I'm expecting to be covered. I'm expecting to be covered, right? Because I'm going to do the same for you. Whatever the equivalent is for you, I am going to do that. I'm not going to give you bare minimum, and I'm certainly not going to shortchange you. I'm not going to do that. We're in this covenant together. So I'm not going to shortchange you. I'm not going to give you bare minimum. If you need something, I'm going to give you the best that I can give you. Right now, don't get me wrong. Depending on what's going on in my life, best might look a little different because if it's a lot going on, I'm still going to give you my best. Right? I'm going to give you my best. So I don't want. I mean, I want you to do the same. Like I want you to give me my best. Like if I'm telling you I need covering and this is what I need, like why only give me a portion of that? Right? Like I think that we've gotten to the point though where it's such a debate about reciprocity and it's such a debate about who earns and who deserves what, and we're debating about this so much that it's like I think that we're kind of losing the plot. Right now we're talking about as boyfriend, girlfriend, we should have certain expectations. But once we become man and wife, that's supposed to change, right? I need to know that I'm going to be able to depend on you. I need to know that if I do get into a point where I can't handle my $150 oil change, you got me. Not, I'm going to tell you I need to get an oil change and you send me half of it. Right? Like, I'm sorry. I need to know that you got me, especially if I know that you got it. Like I think that's the thing, the part y'all missing. She knows that this man has the money.
That's even
so
crazier.
Knowing that a man that you're committing your life to, has the financial ability to cover you, but is deciding not to. Why?
Because he wanted to spend all his, because he wants her to
he's
spend her
selfish.
own money. Because
He
if
ain't
he got
committed
it
to
like
it.
that, because if he has it like that, he paying some bills.
It's
Because if
giving
he
some
has it
call.
like
It's
that,
what is
he
that?
is
It
paying
is. It's
some bills.
selfish. You're not
What is
really
it
committed.
What'd you say,
What
Cole?
is
Say it again.
Giving.
Hold on,
Bullshit.
Cole. Go ahead,
Bullshit.
Cole. What'd you say, Cole? Go ahead.
Huh? That
What'd
is
you say?
giving
Say that
bullshit.
again. Okay.
Bullshit.
Ooh.
I mean, tell me I'm
Ooh-wee.
lying. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm lying.
Didn't do that. I don't know. I just can't. That I can't even imagine if it's a woman I love and I'm for the rest of my life, for better or worse, through sickness and health and all that, and it's only $150. I know I got it. This isn't a situation where it's like you're struggling up and coming. She's in her 30s, late 30s, whatever. So it's not like they're in the college years where I get it. Okay, oh, you're my girl, and I just want to make sure you're good, but I still need to eat. That's different. This is a girl. That is. Listen, they have two different realities going on. He's thinking what Vince said is that we're equal, and she's thinking that, oh, you're my covering, right? So she's looking at it from a biblical perspective and a traditional housewife perspective, and she's not wrong for that. But where she is wrong and where he's wrong is that they didn't discuss this between each other, because that problem is not going to be solved by going to a panel, because they're going to tell her that you got one half saying that she's right, the other half saying she's wrong. But the issue is that neither one of them is right or wrong. It just they didn't establish how that relationship was going to work in terms of finances. Who's going to split what? Am I going to cover all of this? Who's going to do all this? Whose responsibilities is? They didn't establish their roles and responsibilities before this. That's crazy to me.
Yeah.
So I'm not
But I
demonizing the
guess
man. Even though I know you guys want to begin, he didn't get the $50. I'm just saying he didn't do what he should have done as a man, which was lead and say, let's have this conversation now. This is what it's going to be. Oh, that doesn't work for you. We should go different paths. So she probably had that expectation, like you said earlier, Cole. But how did she have an expectation? It should have just been like more like a knowing. Oh, I know he's going to do it because we already had that conversation. But if you're expecting something to happen, it's kind of like, I don't know if it's going to happen. Maybe, maybe not. Then she got the, oh God, he didn't do it. Well, did you have that conversation with him before? You didn't. So you're going to get mad at him, or should you get mad at yourself for not even bringing it up? You have the courage to bring it up to a bunch of strangers, but you don't have the courage to address that with your own fiance. That's crazy.
So let me ask this question. So why in this situation? Because I've heard all y'all points. Y'all making some valid points. Why in this situation couldn't it have just been a thank you? Like just keeping
You
it a
gonna
buck.
get this thank you with a side eye.
Well, hold on. Whoa, hold on.
This
Whoa.
The
Thanks.
basket side eye.
Thanks.
Wait, whoa.
I mean,
wait a minute.
You ain't have to do this though. Thank you. I mean, but you know you ain't have to do it. You
So hold on.
really didn't have to. Thanks.
So let me understand something. So I know y'all talking about the fact that he asked. So if he wouldn't have asked at all and just stayed up out of it, would that have been okay? That's for Coco and Cole. If he would have just not even asked and stayed up out of it and let you deal with your oil change because it's your car, it ain't his car, would that have been okay?
Worse. Huh? We didn't ask. You know that she bought it. You know she got a
Hold
oil
on,
change.
Joe.
You didn't
Hold on,
ask.
Joe. Hold
I
on, Joe.
would have known it. I would have made a note. I would have made a mental. I would have made a mental note for sure.
I would have
To
clocked
do what?
it.
No. You
Yeah.
hold on, Cole. You would have made a note to do what with it later?
Mm-hmm. Like
You
just
said
a
you would
note,
have
like
made a
okay,
mental
he
note.
not. Yeah, sure.
To
I
do
would've
what
clocked
with
it.
it later though?
And that,
What was you gonna do with it later?
well,
Don't tell him all the secrets.
oh, okay, then never mind.
Remember, man? Remember you didn't offer to pay my oil?
Oh yeah,
See what I'm
it's definitely going on the mental note.
It'd be 10 years later
Making a
down the
mental
line.
note of
Remember
that,
you
like,
didn't pay
oh,
me?
But that's what I'm saying.
Yep.
So y'all gonna make a mental note, and then later he got to deal with some repercussions from 2 weeks ago
Yep.
because he didn't mention.
Yep.
No, I'm just
No man.
watching. I'm just
Yeah,
quietly,
exactly. Just watching.
I'm just quietly observing
Mhm.
how he handles things.
But you know what I think? You know what I think though?
Y'all do that too, so please stop.
You know what I think though?
Yes,
Because
like a
they're
mug.
obviously
Quit playing.
older. I think this is a bigger issue than this $150.
It is.
I
Go
agree.
on. Go
Yeah,
on.
it is.
I think
It
it's more
definitely
so
is.
how we going. I mean, they look like she in her 50s probably. So they
Oh,
probably
yeah.
got grown kids, other bills. It's more than just this 150. She like,
What do you
how
think it
much is he
is?
gonna pay for the whole roll? Am I gonna have to pay if the mortgage is 5,000? I'm gonna have to pay 2,700. He paid 25.
Mm.
It's more than this $150 oil change.
Yeah.
And he
No.
might be cheap. She might. But my thing is, if he got it and it's something you can deal with, then just deal with it. If you know if it's $150 oil change, say it's 300, and he give you
Yeah.
200, like
No, that's
Remy do.
Yeah, no, the reason I'm asking, I think at the end of the day, I know that tonight's conversation, sometimes I think they be fabricating some of this stuff, right?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you know, I'm hearing everything that y'all are saying, right? And like I said, and I have a certain level of agreement as well, right? If this dude is talking about being her husband and she talking about this 150, throw the little 150 and be done with it, right? But the fact that he didn't throw the 150, I feel like there's something else there.
what you think.
Because when you're talking about throwing up $100 and somebody throw an extra 50 on it, you can care less about that last 50, right? Let's just be honest. Any fella can agree. If somebody talking about $100 and somebody throw an extra 50 on there, you care less about that extra 50. Now you might start asking questions at 200 and 300, but that little 50, you throw that little 50 on there, we know we'll burn that up at Taco Bell somewhere. Like that little 50 ain't doing all that. So for a man that's about to marry a woman and not add this 50, something else is there.
Off.
Right. So I don't know what it is because we missing that context, but I don't think it's because he just a bum cat. Like I'm not getting that. I don't think he just no bum cat and he just being cheap. Like I don't get that. Just off the simple fact that he was actually trying to put something on the oil change. So he trying to contribute, but there's something with this last 50. I don't know what it is, but I do agree with Vince. I think that there's a bigger issue here. But I wanted to tie this video back to the topic of us sabotaging relationships. And I'm like, is this situation enough to be ready to wrap it up or for it to really be a problem.
Yes.
Yep, it's him giving you this $100 towards this $150 oil change and not putting that last 50 on there. Is this enough to start questioning your soon to be husband?
Yes. Let me tell you why.
Go ahead.
Yes, because just like you said, it's a bigger issue. So yes, if the bigger issue is something that they can't work through. And that's probably, I'm going to say, I don't know if this is a real scenario because I agree with you. I think tonight's conversation be fabricating some of these, but let's just say that it is, okay? If that's true, that might be why she's coming to strangers asking, what y'all think about this? Because she can tell that it's something because the man has the money and she knows he has it. So why would he not send the 50? Because he certainly has it. So in her mind, she's like, what is it? Like maybe he hasn't said or been honest with her about whatever it is, right? So she might be like, what y'all think it is? Now, I'm not saying that's the right way to handle it at all, by the way. She needs to be him. But she might be, y'all know how women can be. So she might be going to this audience like, y'all tell me what y'all think it is. Why would he not just send the $50? Like, why wouldn't he just give me the whole thing? Like, what you think it is? Why? What's that mean? Right? And yes, it could be enough depending on what his why is. Like, what is your, like, if it's just because you just didn't want to do it, or let's say Donovan is right, he just gave her some money like a couple days ago and he like, I'm tired of giving you money. Like it could, if it's that, then it is what it is, right? Like too much. Or she, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. No, that's definitely not enough to end a relationship off of. Girl, you go sit down somewhere. But if it's something else with him and how he's viewing her and the financial dynamic between the two of them, it could be something that they're just an area where they don't see eye to eye. And that could be something that they need to work out before they get married. Because that could cause real issues. And money causes issues in marriages. So you better have that figured out. So yes, it could be something worth going separate ways if it's not something that y'all going to be able to agree with. Because who wants to get married and be fighting all the time about money?
Well, what if that's something
Or
that's
it could
just
be he might not be into her.
Go ahead, Civil. Hold on, Joe. Hold on. Let me get Civil. I know you've been quiet. Go ahead, Civil.
I'm saying, what if that something is just her? I mean, we're all assuming that she just qualifies to get like this kind of preferential treatment. She's an older lady. She's not married currently. She's just getting engaged to this dude who's more than likely also an older man. So there should be certain allowances that each of them need to just come to reality. Maybe he didn't give it to her because she's the type of person that would go on a talk show, fabricated or not, and say these things and put her face and her image to something that's supposed to be covered by her man and would say these things. That doesn't qualify you to get 100% of me financially or emotionally or even just my attention. That'll get you so far. And like, we're just assuming that this lady's there, and like she's there with her breast out. And like, I'm not even the kind of dude that trips on that. But there's a different outfit that women that are happily married wear versus a woman who's out there with steel searching and steel hunting what they wear. Yeah. And I mean, she's there with everything out. She's talking about her man to this crowd of people on something that has the potential to go viral. And I mean, she's complaining about getting more than half. Everyone keeps reducing it to half. He didn't send $75. He sent $100.
It might as well be half. It might as well be half. It ain't enough.
It was 83%.
It might as well be half. But no, I agree with you. It's not that I'm coming from the perspective of it can't be her. I'm actually coming from the perspective of it could be her and he just ain't said nothing. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying there is an issue that he could have with her and he just hasn't said anything. And if that's the case, then yeah, it is something that they need to talk about because it could be something that's like causes them to have friction in their marriage. So it could be something that she's done that he's not cool with. You know what I'm saying?
Doesn't know why.
She could be irresponsible with money, or I don't know. It could be any of those things. But if that's the case, that's obviously something they need to talk about. Like they need to have that conversation. Like, guy, don't take responsibility for her if you see a red flag from her in terms of finances. Like, if you don't even want to cover her expenses, then maybe this is a conversation that y'all should be having before y'all decide to get married, right? Like, you know, I see what y'all saying, but my point was, you know, have that conversation, because if you're about to be her covering, cover her. Like, cover her. What's the problem? And if there's a problem, figure that out. Because I listen, you don't want her to give you the blow without a job.
So they're both in their 50s. Let me get this straight. They're both in their 50s, and they both have these communication problems. Like that, like, I get it, your 20s, maybe your 30s, but they're in their 50s and they're like going to strangers, other people outside of the relationship, both of them. And I would imagine he's going to his boys, his homies, and talking about it instead of talking to her about what his issue is with her, which we don't know what it is. We're speculating, but these are all plausible situations, right? It could just boil down to, if something she did I didn't like, and I'm not telling her what it is she did I didn't like, so I'm just going to shortchange her. And now she's thinking like, what did I do wrong? I don't know what I did. She probably did something to him that he did. She doesn't know, but because he doesn't communicate that to her at his big age, it's like, what the hell? So neither one of them should be getting married, because neither one of them know how to communicate to the person that they're in the bedroom with. Not these groups, not us. We're
You know how it works,
we're
though,
not
Joe.
there.
You know how it works. They coming straight to the internet. You know how it works.
Ridiculous, right? It ruins relationships. That is actually the problem. They coming straight to the internet. And this
It
commentary,
sabotages.
that man is going to see it. He's going to see his one. Hey, whoa, hey, bro, it's not your fiance. He's going to see all this. He might come across this channel. He might come across, of course, he's going to come across the one she's on. He's going to be like, damn, my business is all over the internet. And
that's why
now
we
it's
talking.
not going to work. Crazy. So there's no room for you to even iron out the kinks that was there, because every relationship has them. But now that you just kind of put it out there on Front Street, over $50. Not saying that that's a small issue for potential much bigger problem in the future, but that small little that crack, she allowed other people, they call them monitoring spirits. You let millions of monitoring spirits come in on your relationship that could have been solved had you had that conversation with him first.
Right.
I mean, it's good for us because this is content. It's good for you, Quay, because it gets views, and it's good for other people who they have millions of views, and it's making them money. It's making them popular. It's getting them viral. But who is it not good for? It's damaging the people that they're looking for help, but it's actually doing the opposite of that. It's like the Jerry Springer effect. Oh, this my boyfriend isn't it? You come on there, I need some help with it. They turn around, their whole thing is ruined. Everything is ruined. They too famous. They got people knocking down their doors, making death threats. It didn't work out the way they thought it was going to work out. Everything is ruined because you went there with the intention of getting help, but you actually end up getting destroyed in the process of getting help from these strangers who don't know what they're talking about. These are not psychologists. These are not therapists. They're not licensed professionals or anything. They're talking heads and they're sensationalists. That's all they're doing. And their job is to blow up the situation and to essentially blow up your relationship. So I feel sorry for her and I feel sorry for him. That's all there is to it.
Yeah, but I think, let's say, that's why we talking it. You know, let's say we sabotage these relationships, you know, based on how we respond, you know, based on where we putting our information, let's say, and based on how we react to things. Let's just be honest, sometimes that are small. There's some things that can be addressed with a quick conversation. Hey, boo, I appreciate that 100, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, I was hoping you know what I'm saying, you would have dropped me that little 150, you know what I'm saying? Was something going on or whatever? And my man might be like, hey, you know what I'm saying? That was what I had in my pocket. So I just pulled it out. Here you go. So let's say sometimes, let's say some of these things can be solved with a quick conversation. But, you know, once again, how we go about it can be the downfall, and that can be the sabotage. Go ahead, Vince. I saw you come off. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, but it seems like these older, you know, people are having more problems than the younger people.
For sure.
As far as building relationships and keeping them steady, because I think a lot of it is triggering because she might have had somebody who gave her everything she wanted. And then now she got somebody who's a little bit more frugal. Or he had I think it's harder because you got too much to compare it to. when these
Yeah,
older
no.
relationships is too much, just like the young lady in the in the video. You know, now she's going to compare every relationship to that guy she spent a whole lot of money on. So now, you know, I got used in that relationship, so I'm gonna take it further, and I'm not gonna give nothing. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? He gonna pay for everything. I'm not gonna pay for nothing because I got used in this relationship.
Yeah, no, I agree,
You
man.
know?
And I think, you know, to add additional context to what you was just saying, well, add addition to what you was just saying, Vince, I think that a lot of the older folks that are in relationships, I feel like a lot of them now are starting to compete with the younger folks.
That's backwards.
Yep, and now they are starting to actually care about what these young folks is saying, or what these folks who ain't got no relationships are saying. Yeah, you remember at a time when you had some older folks in a relationship, that boy was ironclad. You couldn't tell them nothing. They was doing what they did. They was married, having, you know, having a family, taking care of their kids, doing whatever they was doing. But see, now if you look at it, even some of the older aged couples, you know, they heavy in the social media streets just like the young folks. So now they sitting down together, watching these tonight's conversations and anything else, and now they looking at their situation. So now you'll have an older couple that'll see this video, you know, saying that this gentleman dropping his 100 and not dropping the whole 150. And now she gonna be looking, you know, a lady be sitting at home looking at her husband like, well, yeah, you know what, you did that to me the other week. You know, so I wanted to go grocery shopping, and I told you it was gonna be about 500. You only gave me 400, and I had to pull out my credit card for the last 100. Why you do me like that? You know, then it started up a thing. Now he like, wait a minute, where you coming from with that? Like, you ain't never carried me like that. And it's like, well, she's sitting over here watching tonight's conversation, man. So now she bringing that up in your relationship. Y'all been married for 30 years. Like, and he looking at her like, man, I'm paying everything up in here. You don't even work. Like, what you coming at me like that for? So it's just like I said, people are just not ironclad. And like I said, we not thinking about what we're doing. Yep, and how we allow this type of nonsense to affect us. Yep, a woman, she could be completely happy with her husband. Boy, let the wrong thing come on social media, and all of a sudden she questioning her husband. Oh, would my husband do that? Oh, is he holding out? Did he grab the door for me, even though he just paid off her $10,000 car? Now it's going to be all about, did he hold the door? And it's just like, yeah, you have to be very careful letting this stuff infiltrate your situation. But I just think it's for us, or for me, I just see a lot of mindset. Yeah, but it's like we ready to cut people off over the simplest things. It's like we don't have any more. I don't even know if the proper word is grace. It almost seems more like patience and respect. It's like we missing patience for people and respect. So we just ready to cut somebody for the simplest stuff, some $16 sandals. You know, and I understand the points. You guys made valid points, but you know, $50 on an oil change, like we ready to just cut stuff off and sabotage our opportunities to actually be with somebody, you know what I'm saying, that care about you and want to do for you and make sure you good and all of that. So that's really the point. Yeah, we got to look at how we moving in these relationships, you know what I'm saying? And I think that'll give us a better understanding on why we seeing a lot of unsuccessful relationships out of here, or better yet, seeing examples of folks who can't even get one off the ground to even start. So yeah, no, that's really when I wanted to drive, man. But I'm gonna get us up out of here, man. We almost at 10:30, man. It's time to wrap it up. I'm gonna take some closing across the top and the bottom. We gone. Coco, you want to say anything before we get out of here?
Yeah, I'll just bring it back to the title. I know we kind of went in left field there for a bit, but yeah, I think that obviously we know this is not just a Black people thing, but we speak to the issues that do come up in our community, and this is certainly one of the issues that we've seen, and it's pretty bad. Like we are in a time where we are sabotaging any opportunity of us finding somebody. I know there's a small minority group of women and men too that are saying, and I'm willing to say it's a small group because I don't think a lot of people are being honest. Y'all don't really want to stay single forever. Y'all don't want to stay single forever. Y'all don't. The majority of you guys really don't want to honestly have to stay single forever. You don't. You may be disgruntled with the dating scene. You may be irritated with black women or whatever the case may be. Black women, you may be irritated with black men, but y'all don't want to be single forever. You don't. This ain't gonna be cute when you know, 10 years from now. This ain't gonna be cute no more. That's why this woman looks like she's, like he said, in her 50s, and she's on a show talking about a man that didn't want to pay 150 and he only wanted to pay 100. This is why we're having these conversations at these big old ages. Because the truth of the matter is, we don't want to be alone forever. And this is why she's still with this man, and quiet as kept. That's why he's still with her. Because there probably is some stuff there. There probably is some stuff about her that he don't like and some stuff about him that she don't like. Clearly, that's why she brought it up on the show. But at the end of the day, they probably both at these big old ages where they like, but he cool, she cool. So we just gonna go ahead on and do this thing because we don't want to be by ourselves. Right? But the thing is, if that's the case and if that's the situation, then accept it for what it is and just go sit down somewhere. Just go sit down somewhere. Because if you know what it is, you know what it is. Right? So if don't sabotage it because you know what it is. It is what it is. So I do think sometimes we do. I think just using a young lady as an example that, you know, wanted to date her neighbor. If you are not a level-headed person, you should have dated him. He's too close. This is what we were saying. That's why Cole was like, you know, that's why Kiana was like, no, I get it. No, I'm not saying it's anything wrong if you want to do that, but you are taking a chance because if it doesn't go well, now it's a little awkward when you see him or her around the, you know, around the courtyard or when you see him around the apartment complex. It's a little weird. It's a little weird. And you got to live there. So it's great if it works out. It's wonderful. But then if it doesn't, it kind of sucks. So you're taking a chance, right? But you already knew that. And you already knew you didn't really like this man. You already knew that too. And you already know you're not a princess. That's why you didn't ask him to buy the shoes. Because if you were a princess, you would have had no problem asking that man to buy your shoes because that's what you would have expected. That's what you would have expected. So yeah, I think at this point now we're just making up excuses. We're just making up excuses. We're justifying bad behaviors. We're delusional. We are, you know, we have high expectations for ourselves, yet we don't plan to meet another person's high expectations. You know, we have high standards for ourselves, but we can't give the things that we're asking from others. So yeah, it's a whole lot of sabotage going on. This is why we're struggling in relationships. This is why, you know, it keeps Black people in general on the bottom. Because strong relationships make a strong foundation to build a strong community. And until we understand that, we just lost the plot.
That's real. Appreciate that closeout right there. Sybil, it's on you, man.
And as always, another amazing Wednesday. Just want to say shout out to the Bulldogger Bill Pickett. If you guys don't know who he is, look him up. He's one of like the most trend-setting, trailblazing Black men in history. Every now and then on the episodes, I'm going to start wearing patches of just different Black people who don't get the recognition they deserve. He's the first Black man in the Cowboy Hall of Fame. And if you look at it, he actually invented bull wrestling. So check him out. Really cool dude. Outside of that, another great episode. The topic is kind of on point because it's as if we don't have positive enough examples of what solid relationships are. And I mean, even the ones that we thought were real good, like the Will and Jada Pinkett's of the world, like we thought that was that real Black love kind of deal. And then you come to find out it definitely ain't that. That's kind of where we're at right now, just as a culture and as a people in America. I'm not saying most, I'm not saying the majority, I'm not saying all, but it's a large enough number to where our growth as a culture is suffering. And it's not allowing us to kind of get to that next level. That's why the dollar in our community doesn't circulate. It literally goes to some Asian lady or to some Latin lady or to some, you know, palm colored person. That's because we're not finding, like sitting and fighting and actually dealing with the stuff that's difficult to build a community from the ground up the way we used to, the way we should. But outside of that, loved everybody. It's unfortunate that we're struggling with relationships because we are sabotaging them. versus learning what we need to do in order to actually be successful in relationships and as a culture. I'll close there.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Appreciate that closeout. Vince, it's on you, man. You on mute. Come off mute, man.
Sorry about that. Yes, we are sabotaging our relationships. And I think it's because that we don't value each other. We don't value family. We don't value marriage. Had two instances that happened to me. Yesterday I went and got my teeth cleaned, and my dentist is Chaldean, and a lot of his hygienists are Chaldean and Muslim. And I was talking to because I like to talk to people. I was talking to my hygienist. She's 24 and has been married for 2 years. And I was like, wow, that's really different. And she was beautiful. And she loved being married. Her and her brothers go out with her brothers and her husband are really close friends. And I'm like, why do we have such a negative connotation of getting married young? But all these other people can get married young, and they got careers in education and all that, but they somehow seem to value each other, to get married and still have fun. You hear so many people, oh girl, don't get married so you can have fun. What fun are you having? And then they lie and say, well, it ain't about having sex. Yes, it is. It's about having a bunch of sex and a bunch of bad relationships with men too. What are you really going to get if you really want to be married and have a family with a whole lot of singleness, besides a bunch of trauma and a bunch of drama? But we don't value. In another situation happened, a niece of mine, she's not my niece, but I look at her as a niece. She had a post on Facebook that her 7-year-old goddaughter told her she don't need a man because men ruin women's lives. A 6-year-old told her that.
They young.
And I was like, wow, that's sad that a 6-year-old hasn't had any positive relationships in her life. At 6 years old, she's already saying men ruin. And she said her Gigi and her grandmother told her that. And I'm like, what hope do we have? What hope do we really have? And we just know you got Leslie, what's her name, saying marriage is slavery.
Right.
But then we talking about we want generational wealth, we want legacy, we want this, we want that. And how we going to do it with our family? As a culture. So I don't know what we're going to do. I really don't, because one thing that I also seen is that you have to really kind of see it to believe it. So many people don't even believe that marriage works. They don't even believe that there's good men or good women or good relationships or good marriage. They don't even believe it because they haven't seen it. Mama ain't married, grandmama ain't married, uncles ain't married. Just a whole bunch of baby mama, baby daddy mess. And I know I'm getting kind of off topic, but then we sabotage these relationships because we really don't value them. Right. We don't feel like, I have to have a husband, or I have to have a wife, or I have to have a family. And the funny thing is that to black men, marriage is a flex.
For sure.
It really is. When you amongst certain type of men, they're married. And it's a flex because they talk about their family. They don't talk about their accomplishments. I mean, Quay, I'm pretty sure you've experienced this. They talk about their children. They talk about their wife. It's a flex. So I don't understand that when we so far apart in our mental, and it's the mindset. So I don't know.
Yeah, no, I do agree with you though, Vince. It is a flex. Yeah, because to your point, when you get around like-minded folks, and I don't care what their skin color is, there's a different type of interaction. Yep, it starts at, are you married? It turns into, family, then it can possibly turn into business opportunities and deals and you name it. So there is a benefit. It is a flex. To your point, I said, and I've seen it. I said the conversations change once somebody knows, you know what I'm saying, that you married and you know, you trying to handle business the right way. It does change the dynamics, you know what I'm saying, of the interaction. So now I do agree, but I think to your point, Vince, you know, folks don't value it, or at least they don't see the value. And I think that because it's been pushed that we can do so much on our own and we don't need anybody else's assistance, we just run with that. And it's not true, because you're going to run into a point where you need somebody, and you're going to need some help. And listen, we just don't understand the strength in being connected with somebody in a marriage, and how we don't get it, man. But I think eventually we will. Once it get ugly enough, I think we will get it. But folks still holding out. So I'll leave it right there. That's all you wanted to say, man?
Yes, sir.
All right, cool. Appreciate it. Cole, it's on you. You still there? She might be tied up. Cole, you still there? Yeah, she might.
She said she didn't have a close. She said she is civil.
Okay. All right, she good. Okay, cool. Well, no, once again, great conversation. Like I said, I think the conversation needed to be had. Yeah, we sabotage a lot of our relationships. Yeah, we sabotage them before they even get off the ground good. $16 flip-flops. That's not enough to wrap it up. It's not enough. Yeah, $50 on oil change. Yeah, my man, he need to be moving different, but that ain't enough. That should just trigger a conversation. But don't dissolve your relationship over that. That ain't enough. Yeah, so at the end of the day, I said, we got to sit down and just think about how we moving and how we looking at things. Yeah, we can't have these expectations that you want somebody to be at 90, 100%, and you only at 70. That don't work. That don't work. Yeah, so we gotta be real with the mindset and just think about what we doing out here. Like I said, this ain't nobody got it all figured out. Ain't nobody perfect. Yeah, so we gotta once again think about what we doing, man. We could turn the corner. It just really matters if you really want to. But man, shout out to my panel, man. Shout out to Coco, Civil, my guy Vince, Cole, Joe was on here earlier. Appreciate y'all holding me down on the panel, man. And shout out to everybody in the comments, man. We appreciate y'all, man. Once again, this Kandid Konvos, man. We here trying to make a difference, trying to change some lives, trying to move us in a better direction, trying to help us get our mind right. Yeah, but we go at it every week. So, man, if you haven't already, man, smash that like button, man. Hit that subscribe, hit that share out the content. Turn on the notifications for all my YouTube folks out there so you know when we drop content, man. Like I said, but most of all, man, most important, smash that like button, man. Likes are free. Don't cost nothing to hit a button. But, man, with that being said, we're going to get up out of here, man, and we're going to catch y'all on the next one.